Well, hello everyone. So today I'm going to try drawing the Statue of Liberty. So I'm just going to do this in pencil. It'll really be just a quick sketch. This particular one, I don't know, I'll probably spend 15 minutes or so. Anyway, here I'm just going to go ahead and rough in some of the major shapes, starting with the eye, the brow, the crown, and here I'm working on the nose, blocking in the shadow that's going to be on the side of the nose. And as I draw the shapes, I'm looking at something I've already drawn. So how deep I'm going to draw the chin, for example, or how wide I'm going to draw the lip. I'm going to look at it in relation to the line I made for the nose. And as I draw the eye, I'm going to look at the negative shape between the crown and the eyebrow, looking at that trapezoid shape. And here, I'm just roughing in the holes that are in the crown. These aren't going to be exact. These aren't going to be exact lines of the actual crown. This is a sketch, so I'm just suggesting general ideas of the picture. And at first glance, it's going to look like the Statue of Liberty. They're not going to be counting how many holes there are and all that. Obviously, if I'm going to try to draw an exact copy, then yeah, I'll be taking a little more time with that. So anyway, here I'm still roughing the general shapes. That's the arm right now. So here I'm starting to draw the points of her crown, just general shapes, and then the arm's gonna be going over. And if you look at that line that I just drew there on the right, there's a triangle there between the spike of her crown and the front of her face. So I'm looking at that negative space. Here, roughing in the hand and the crown. So I'm looking at the general direction of the crown and roughing it out. I will shade this once I get the general idea of where things are. And I'm also going to darken the lines as I feel more secure and confident of where they're going to be. So in the meantime, I'm just drawing light lines. And for myself, I like to do a lot of shading just by varying the pressure of the pencil. And of course, I'm also going to do some cross hatching in there. So here, again, just roughing out the torch, running out of room here. But the main focus of this picture really is her face. Okay, so here I'm going to start doing a little bit of shading. And as I do it, I'm going to darken some lines that I feel pretty good about. Here, when I first do a shade, I just go one direction with the pencil lines, like right here. And then I'm going to add some crossways direction lines. And right here, I just made some darker lines with simply by increasing the pressure of the pencil. Okay, right here I'm going to shade the side of the nose, all one direction lines, and I just kind of increase the pressure. More shading underneath the nose here, and I usually start with somewhat lighter shading with the intention of darkening certain areas later on so that the darkness of each section is more or less correct in relation to other parts of the drawing. Here I'm doing a lot of cross hatching to increase the darkness of the shade. And here's just some light shading, very light pressure on the pencil. And this part's going to be darker, this side of her face. So I'm going to increase some pressure, do a bunch of cross hatching, always paying attention to where the darker areas are, and do additional cross hatching to make it darker. So my sketching style tends to be a little looser, so I don't go all in one direction throughout the drawing. There are other times when I do want to make it a little bit more uniform, but this isn't one of those. So here I'm working on the ear a bit, knowing that this is going to be in the shade. Okay, I'm going to start working on the details of her hair and put maybe some of the strands just to give it a little bit more pop, and the hair goes in a different direction here, so I'm just gonna draw a couple lines in there just to suggest where the hair is going. Okay, more shading. This is more like a cylinder here, so okay, here you can see how I made the outline a little bit darker. And I just keep shading. I'm going to stop the right side of the drawing right here. Alright, so more work on her robe. This part gets really dark, so I'm just going to go in one direction again. Yeah, this particular photograph is interesting in that it's got some nice contrast between the light and the dark. So kind of caught my eye, and I thought I would go ahead and try to draw it or sketch it, whatever. So this part's very dark, the windows inside her crown, and then this whole area here with her crown is going to be in shadow. So I'll shade that here shortly. And again, I get kind of loose with this area, not trying to make it perfect. If I try to make an exact drawing, this would definitely take me a lot longer. So I'm just trying to draw this as quickly as I can, but still get the general gist of her. Right, putting the shading on the right side of the thorns. And obviously, if this was a photorealistic drawing, you're not going to see these lines. This is more or less a stylized sketch. If you look at a photograph of something, you don't have dark outlines of what you're drawing, but here I'm freely using these outlines. Okay, so here I'm working on the wardrobe, and again, I'm not going to be exact with all the folds. I'm just gonna give an indication. Alright, so let's put in shadows here on the right side of her arm, just to give it some depth all the way up. And this part of this hand here is going to be in shadow, but I'll do that in a little bit. I'm going to shadow in the torch first, and here the shadow is going to be a little bit more contrasty, so pretty dark right next to the light part of the torch. Alright, I'm going to start putting in the shadows for the fingers here. The tips are really just the ones that are in shadow, so okay, going back to the torch, draw the semicircular lines, put in some more shadows, and darken the outline. Here I'm going to suggest some details on the bottom of our torch. Just a couple lines, that's all you need. No one's going to take a really close look at it to see if the details are exact. Okay, going up to the torch here, and a lot of this is going to be in shadow, so I'm just going to start doing a bunch of cross hatching here. Okay, this part of the torch kind of wraps around. It's kind of a flat area, so I'm trying to do the shading in one direction, and here I'm just going to cross hatch again. So the more you put cross hatching, the darker it's going to be. And here, just a suggestion of the holes in the torch. That will pretty much finish this sketch. Alright, so the whole idea of a sketch is to just suggest the general idea of what you're drawing. Don't have to put in a lot of details, just rough details, and it's going to look good. I hope you enjoyed this little quick sketch of the Statue of Liberty, and please like and subscribe. Have a great day.